Just.
Oh.
My head. I straightened it a little bit. You're wrong. I'm like,
Bye, Jack.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
who wants attention over there?
He wants you to speak.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming out. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you for taking your time on a Thursday to come hear about health and wealth. I am honored to be able to speak in front of you as always. It's always a pleasure for me. I have a really special guest in store for you, so I'm not going to take a lot of time. However, I want to be concise and to the point. And one of the main things that I understand go hand in hand is health and wealth. Because if you don't have the health, you can't spend the wealth. If you don't have the health, if you don't have the wealth, then you can't have the health as well. They're synonymous with each other. And the reason being is because you see a lot of people who don't have a lot of money, but they'll eat fast food. They'll eat Kentucky Fried Chicken, or they'll eat Church's Chicken, or all these bad restaurants. But people who have a little bit more money, then they'll go to higher end restaurants, or they'll go to Whole Foods, or go to Sprouts. All those different aspects of your life make a difference. And today we want to help you in every way we can. And my job is first to introduce myself. See that handsome man on the left-hand side right there? That is me right there. My name is James. I'm with Remax Champions, but I'm also with Family First Life, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about life insurance. Everyone's heard it, you've seen it, you see it on social media, but for me, it's important because of the community that we live in. A lot of us don't understand the importance of it. We think that because it's life insurance, we're nervous, we're going to pass away, we're going to put a hex on ourselves, and that's not the case at all. The unfortunate part, which is the great part at the same time, is that everyone who's born, we're going to have to pass away. But in that process, we can live our life to the fullest. And in living our life to the fullest, if we love our spouse, we love our children, if we love the people around us, then we are somewhat obligated to make sure they have a better life than we do, because as parents, that's what we want to do. I want my son to be better than I do. I don't want him to have to go to school in the Dixon Gardens and grow up and have to go through all the tragedies that we've gone through. And that's one of the best parts when if you're spiritual, or you have a religion, or believe in the numbers, when you pray, you sometimes ask God, why me? Why am I going through this? Why do I have to go through this right now? This heartache, this debt, my loss of life. Why do I have to go through these things? And eventually we learn it helps to make us better in every aspect. And if we become better, we want to teach the next generation, the next generation, the next generation. And in doing that, having life insurance ensures that for us. It makes no sense for everyone that's in here, whether you do real estate or any other type of job, to put your family in a situation that whenever you pass away, God forbid later than sooner, that they have to scramble to get money to bury you. How is that even fair to them? How can I say, Lorenna, I love you as a friend, or if I was Lorenna's married, so just an example. If I say that I love you and I don't show that love, love is an action word. Because I can tell you I love you all day. And if I don't show you that action, you're like, look, we ain't getting no action. You ain't showing me no action. I'm out of here. And all of us have been through that. But if I do, and I care about my children, I care about my mom, I care about my auntie, my uncle, my tia and tios, then I can say, look, for this policy, no matter what it is, I can pay this amount, whether it be $50, $100, $120, and to ensure that if anything happens to me at any given time, that you'll be taken care of, then my job is done. To an extent, my job is done. Because now that not only does that help you to take care of the house, it helps you to make sure you're not stressed out. The worst thing, now let me break it down a little bit. talk about relationships for a quick second. Let me be a relationship coach real quick. When you go through heartache, that's one of the worst things you can go through. We've all been there, whether it be puppy love from the 8th grade, from the Steady Hawkins dance in your prom, to an adult and you get a divorce. We all go through aspects of heartache. And we always have a friend that says, hey, you know what? Justin, it's gonna be okay. Don't worry about it. She'll come back. You know what? Don't worry about it. We can make this work. There's plenty of fish in the sea, all those different things. But when you pass away, you're gone. And your family has to scramble. They have to figure it out. And I always say, I don't want RE/MAX champions having a barbecue. I don't want them passing a bucket. I don't want them having to raise money for a volunteer and saying, yeah, your dad was good, but we don't have money for a burial. How does that work? And to pay what we pay on a fast food restaurant, let's say Cheesecake Factory, Maestro's, you go to Chick-fil-A, all of us get some type of coffee, Steve's Coffee, Starbucks, whatever the case may be, and you add that up every month to be able to get that and pay that in a premium every month to ensure that your family is taken care of, it's a no-brainer, and it should be. And we shouldn't have to fight. One of the biggest things I'm finding out in life insurance is fighting with my own family. I have a cousin that I love dearly, and if he sees this video, then he knows that I love him. And I'm explaining to him, he's 1 year old. I'm just like, listen, he's a sales rep. He travels Dubai, Atlanta, Miami. He lives out here. And I'm explaining to him why he should get life insurance. He says, well, I can just get an interest-bearing account and put money in there and save the money and I don't have to pay it. I said, you're 51 years old. You haven't done it in 51 years. Yeah. So you want to do it now to tell you about the policy? And then he goes on to tell you, well, my mom's 70, my dad is 80, so my life expectancy is I probably live until I'm 78. I said, oh, so you Jesus now. Okay. So you live in Wakanda with Black Panther. That's what you are. Or you a tarot reader because you got the cards and you know you're going to live until 70. If we knew what we're going to leave, how long we're going to live, based on our parents' life expectancy, then we wouldn't even need this. We wouldn't. But the unfortunate part is we don't know. From day to day, when we say, that's why it says in one of the prayers, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, our kingdom come. In that particular prayer, it was called the Lord's Prayer. The Lord's Prayer, it talks about if we don't make it, we want you to do this. And that is a harsh reality that we live with every day, whether it be from a car accident, whether it be from a stroke, we're going to talk about health, whether it be from domestic violence, whatever aspect of our life that can come to us, it's going to be unfortunate, but it is going to come at some point in time. And my job, in particularly the Black and brown community, is to bring awareness to that. That way, you know, other generations and other cultures, they understand it. So they get it. And when they get it, it helps that next generation. Look at the Rockefellers and all these people, the DuPonts, and all these big companies who have that life insurance for their family, for their grandchildren, and they pay that premium and they have no problem with doing it. But for us, it becomes like, oh man, $89, woo. But the people who realize the value of that $89 have love for themselves and they have love for their family. And they have love for the people that they say they love because they show that action in the action word. And with that comes the health aspect of it that we're going to go into as well. So when you leave from here, I want you really to think, do I have any coverage? Because some coverage is better than no coverage. You can get accidental for $14. You can get a term for $40, $50. You can get a term with living benefits for a little bit more. You can get an IUL, which I wish Pablo was here because I'm so proud of Pablo. He's 20. He's already purchased 2 IULs. He has a goal within the next 2 years to have $100,000, and he's taking the steps to do that, and he understands it at a young age, and that's the mindset that sometimes the young people have to show us a little bit older in order to take things to the next level. And you owe that to yourself. Why put yourself in a bad situation where you're stressed out and you don't understand the financial aspect of things when you can go ahead and have a conversation, obviously with me, but if not with me, someone else who can point you in the right direction. That way you make sure that not only yourself, but your family is secure and you can go to the next level and you have generational wealth and you can go ahead and be happy. And at the end of the day, whatever happens, wherever religion you are, wherever spiritual guidance that you have, you can rest easy knowing that you took care of it and you're taken care of. With that being said, I want to bring up a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful special guest. Her name is Lorenna, because I would call her Lorraine. Lorenna. And I met her when I started at RE/MAX Champions several years ago. She is a mother. She is a wife. She is an inspiration. She has fitness. I want her to tell you her story as to how she'll tell you how she lost weight, how she keeps it off, her routine. All these things not only make us better spiritually, healthier financially. It puts us in a different mindset because when you look good, you feel good. When you dress good, you feel good. You don't have to worry about, oh, my stomach real big, my legs hurt, I got a calf hurting, my arm hurting, all those arthritis, diabetes, all those things make a difference in how we move and how we can help our clients even on the real estate side of things. It makes a difference for us. So I'm not going to take any more time. Thank you for listening. Let's give Lorenna a warm round of applause as we bring her up.
Thank you for having me. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I actually started at Remax Champion years ago. It was one of my first offices. How do I click this on? Doesn't matter where?
No, what does it? Right there.
Well, I do something a little weird. I love movement, so I do want to start my meeting with stand up.
Okay.
I do something, and I should have put him up, but I'm going to say something, and you are going to repeat it. We're going to shake it off first. That's how I break the ice, how I get you moving. So it's just 5 little affirmations that I start the day with. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, but I want to feel it. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, good. So number 1, great opportunities are coming my way.
Great opportunities are coming my way.
I feel energetic. I feel powerful.
I feel powerful.
Number 3, my mind is clear and my heart is content. I'm ready to start the day with a smile.
My mind is clear, my heart is content. I'm ready to start the day with a smile.
Oh, you guys are good.
Yeah.
All right. I'm excited to see what the day holds for me.
I'm excited to see what the day holds for me.
And I am grateful for today.
I'm grateful for today.
And give yourself a round of applause. Hug yourself. All right. Well, I like to do that to get you moving, to get you thinking, so you're not just sitting there like, who is this lady? Where's she been? Who cares? She runs a lot, whatever. But I actually was not always this loca and this fit. I'm a military wife or veteran wife. My husband woke up one day and said, I'm going to join the military in 2006 when everything was hot and whatnot. I was just 7 days married. And he came home and said, I have a surprise. I thought he bought me a house, thought he bought me a car. I was like, and he had a paper and he said, well, let's finalize our marriage because I'm leaving. And I was like, hello? I've always been an overweight child. I was always overweight. And I was like, okay, he signed up the lottery, he took off. I had to follow him. At that point, I was a little overweight, still always been a little chubby girl. But, he left, military life took us everywhere. But at one point I was at my highest, had my second child. I was weighing 296. Prior to that, I left everything here in California. I had my own insurance office. I had my own brokerage. Woke up, got married, let it go, went to live in Texas. So big. So at that point, I toppled up to 296. Stress, my husband's in Afghanistan, my family's here, my business closed. Depression, all the way to the ground. So I had to kind of start from scratch. Okay, I'm in a different state. What am I going to do? I'm in Colorado. But at one point, I was feeling sick all the time. My husband was in Iraq. And every time in the military, I'm not sure if some of you know or ever been a military wife, every time something happens to you or you go to the doctor, your soldier gets a notification. They know, especially in the unit my husband's with. So basically, he was in a special forces unit. And every time you're sick, they'll find out. And so his sergeant wasn't so friendly, came to my attention one day and said, you know what, nothing is wrong with you. If you keep interrupting his work, he's the best soldier I have. You know what to do. Nothing is wrong with you. You are not sick. All you need to do is lose weight.
Oh, wow.
And at that point, or I'll send you back home, which means to California. And I'm like, well, no, I'm here. My life is here right now. So woke up one day and he said, you got to make some changes. So did some changes. I've done it all. I've, had a diabetes. I've had ulcers. I've had whatnot. They've had to go in there and fix things. And it was a reset. And I finally realized, you know what? He's right. I have 2 little kids, a military wife. If I'm not in the right mindset or fit, he's going to be somewhere. And not only is he going to kill someone, or he's going to kill himself being out there with me on his mind. So decided to make a change with the help of the military. That's how my fitness journey started, found the power of running. So for me, running or walking outside was the key. Started running, started walking, just because I saw how it was changing my mindset, how I was able to get a job now, how I was able to be in the middle of nowhere, not knowing anyone, no family, and start from scratch, Like I said, here I had a well-established business, I had my insurance office, so starting over was big, How it helped me keep moving forward was just finding that, knowing that, okay, I wake up this morning and if I'm a little down, I knew that I can go outside and run or walk and it would come out. It would just come out. So that was how I began the fitness journey. Long story short, military's over, came back home and started a little more, got a little more into it. Actually, before that, I was in Colorado. And in Colorado, I started running marathons. I ran one 5K because I was grateful for the nurses that had helped me go through all these things that I had to do and different things that I had to follow to make sure that I had kept going, that I kept it. It's been almost 15 years that I lost the weight. But you do a lot of things and we do a lot of stuff and we'll lose the weight and it'll come back. We'll lose the weight. And ladies, and men have issues too, but us ladies, we have so many different hormones and things that go through it. Not to include throwing in there a career, At that time, I was still an insurance agent, still was kind of closing the doors here. My husband got injured in Afghanistan, decided that we were coming home now. Like, he was like, I'm done, okay, we're coming home. Came home and I got into loans for a little bit. But what I saw is that in these loan offices, there was these ladies where I worked. They were just so miserable. They were doing it, they were making money, but they were extremely miserable in there. And I walked in one day and I was really full of energy and I had just, did my workout, and at lunchtime they would make fun of me because I would walk, actually right here off of Arrow. And then I walked in one day and one lady's like, you're not gonna be, if you stay in this industry, you're not always gonna be happy like that. You'll see, I'll give you 2 years. And I'm like, oh, no, I don't want that. I'm not gonna do that. So I've made it my point to try to help people. You can be busy, you can be a realtor, you can be a mom, you can be a software, but you gotta find 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes. What has helped me with the highs and lows of real estate is that it's a non-negotiable. I wake up, I reorganize the kids, whatever I have to do, but I will get at least 30 to 40 minutes. What has that helped me do? Well, I've been through the highs of real estate and the lowest of real estate. I've had to start from scratch, rebuild again. But the only thing that's gotten me through it is finding little hacks to make sure that you're constantly on your fitness, because we're all busy, and some of the women that we know or men are really top producers. And yes, you have 1,000 listings. Yes, you have 1,000 customers, but you gotta love yourself while you're giving all of yourself to your clients, to your whatnot. But if you're tired and exhausted, you're gonna get home. You're not going to give nothing to your family, which should be first. And that's where for a moment, I was in that too, the constant, make the phone calls, do this, do that, do that. And for a moment, I was like gaining weight again. I'm like, wait, that's not who you are. You got to find yourself to be able to help people, Because if you're constantly stressed and tired, that men and women alike, that affects your cortisol levels. You hold it here, you hold it here. People don't know, but I'm not gaining weight. I go to the gym or nothing happens, but you're holding it. And then that little quick, I'm going to put this in my mouth. I'm going to put this in my mouth. Or I'm doing the listing, or I'm driving. And we've made it a point to look cool doing this. Like, oh, food on the go. Here's the, from 7-Eleven. I've seen realtors post it. I'm like, no, there's so many other ways you can do it. Some people talk about time. But if you don't give yourself the time or make those things, you're going to cut the time off from your wife, your family. You're going to cut that time off in your life. So for me, I've made those choices to make those changes forever. For me, waking up, if I have to do it earlier, if I know my schedule, all of us have those schedules where we write everything in, but I pencil it in. If I know I have to be somewhere early, I have to wake up earlier. And I know it's hard. We go to bed late, we're on the computer, someone's texting us about a house in Menifee, at 2 a.m. when we wake up, and you have to put that little trigger in your mind. But once you start going and you start seeing how you feel, you're able to talk better, you're able to help families better. So I've made it my goal, and my fitness kind of ties to real estate. Latino families or other families, mostly Latino families, but it's not a thing. So that's pretty much my market. And I, instead of giving them like wine and cookies and cheese or whatnot for closings, I give them a gift card to somewhere healthy, or I tell them, I'm gonna bring you bags of groceries, or I fill up the refrigerator. And then they start from scratch. So I try to incorporate that together. You know, waking up is hard. It's not easy. And I always tell everybody, find what works for you. If you're not a morning person, okay. Well, instead of sitting in the break room, you can walk back and forth. You can find little life hacks. Those little life hacks are gonna help you with little things. If you know that, okay, you know what, my building's a 3-story building, I can take the stairs. Those little life hacks will help you. They also help you with stress and release when you're in a bad deal, or you got escrow here, this, there, the loan's not going through, all that. If you take a step back, take a walk, sign up for the gym, you actually meet a lot of people at the gym. So, or anywhere on the track. That, I feel like those are the life hacks that have helped me keep moving forward and keep it for so long. Now, mind you, life happens, we go up, we go down, stress comes, and you know, things can change. Is there tools out there that you can use? Everyone, I mean, you see it everywhere. There's the GLPs, the NADs, the this and that, and that's great. There's, you know, there's all these things you can do, but the power of that is that if you use them, you got to change the mindset, because everyone can take pills, this, that, the next trend, the next phase, the next vitamins, all this stuff. But if you haven't fixed this and this, it's not going to work, because you're going to go back to doing the same thing. So I feel like that ties into the business, you know, as well. I don't know what else I'm gonna share with you. What it has to do with life insurance is what I wanted to connect it with. Is that when you're healthier, they come to you, they take the test, and your premium is actually cheaper. When you have issues or past, they check, they see what, you know, what your history. They're gonna go in your history. So that that's one thing. Let me see, what else can I share? Little life hacks. These sound silly, and you might even laugh at me, but I go to bed in my gym clothes. Like, these habits have to be very intentional. You have to really like, okay, I really want to do this. I really want to feel good. I really want to present for my family. I don't want to be tired. I don't want to be cranky. Like, I really want to do this. So you have to find little silly things, and you might even laugh at me like, okay, it's weird. But I do go to bed in my gym clothes. I do prep. I don't prep the 7 meals, the 8 meals a week. I prep the night before, just for that one day, because that one little tiny thing, some people find it overwhelming to prep for the whole showing. I was in Ceylon, I come back, but you do come home and eat dinner, I hope. I hope you come home and you eat dinner, or I hope you, or even if you're out and about and you're like, okay, well, I have to eat out, find a healthy meal, cut it in half, use the other half for your next day meal prep. Because I do see a lot of people like, oh, I don't have time, I'm gonna pay expensive meal preps. No, you could do it at home, especially in these times. Whatever you have for dinner, split it, put it in a Tupperware, save it for the next day. That's it. You don't have to think further. You just have to think the next day. That's what's kept me going all these years. Just the next day, not next week, not the whole month, what I have to do. No, I ate today, cut it in half for the next day. That's how I have the little life hacks that I do. And you don't have to be crazy. Find what works for you. Try it all. I always say try it all. If you don't like to spin or ride bikes, okay, don't do that. If you don't like to run, okay, walk. If you like yoga, go to yoga. But some kind of key is gonna help you. A lot of people think, oh, well, I'm getting older. That's what I've been hearing a lot. Well, I'm gonna be 47 in December. But I hear that all the time was, I don't have time, I'm getting older, whatnot. And the thing is that you are making yourself older. You can reverse it. You can reverse it by saying, you know, no, I'm not gonna stick to that narrative. You know, a lot of people or women, men too have their issues, but women, we go through changes, life changes, whatnot. And we use that as an excuse. Oh, I don't want to do that anymore. Oh, I'm getting older. Oh, I'm so busy. Oh, you don't understand. I have a team. Oh, okay, I do understand. And everyone is different. But just how you have your team or your group or your office or your big business, you gotta give yourself as much as you give your team. So you're giving your team all of you. But sometimes you gotta be a little selfish and at least give me 30, 45 minutes to yourself. Because when you give it to yourself, your team will double, triple the energy that you're gonna give them. And yeah. Any questions? Yes.
I have a question. Well, I have a question and a comment.
Mhm.
First off, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I heard that you were coming, asked James, I was like, yay!
Yeah.
You know, I have questions for her and want to hear what she has to say. Because I know, you know, your journey and like, I see the things that you do at sometimes and, you know, the running and the posting. You hit the nail on the head when you said, you know, when you feel good,
Mhm.
you do better and you give like you feel energetic and you want to show up for work. Like when you feel good,
Mhm.
it's like everything else in your business falls into place.
Yes.
And when you don't feel good, it's like everything else is gonna suffer. And I know you know like about my injury and
Yes.
everything, and I recently had another surgery, and then I was off my feet again for a month. And I'm glad that I'm listening to this because a lot of times we'll make excuses like, well, you know, because I've gained 10 pounds back, and let me tell you something. I feel every single pound
Yeah.
of that 10 pounds. Like I was telling Ashley the other day, I said, I can feel it. I literally feel uncomfortable and I have to get this off because I just feel like every ounce of this, you know, of the weight. And, but when you feel good, then everything else is good. Like you can show up, you have energy, you know, like you don't even notice how many hours you're working, your interactions are good and everything. So I'm thinking to myself, sometimes you know, think of people such as yourself that are so athletic that, you know, have an obviously excellent weight. Like, what do you, like every day, give me a sample of your food intake.
Okay.
Like, I would love to know, like, exactly like a sample day of what you eat.
Okay, so right now, just to let you know, I was vegan from 14 and some change.
I'm not vegan, I love steak.
Wait,
Don't go that far now.
No.
Don't go too far.
This is a great example of life changes and how you can change.
Get that protein.
No. Let me let you know. So for 14 years, I was vegan for 14 years. Recently, life changed and food changes, processing changes, whatnot changes, your goals change, you change. So I recently added, not a lot, just eggs and a little bit of tuna because I knew that my body was changing and I knew that I actually had gained 10, 15 pounds. You guys are saying no, but I felt it. Just like you say, I felt it. I was always in clothes. And I think James was like, just be yourself. I don't even know where we were. This was a while back.
What?
And he was just like, just be yourself. Just be Lorenna. But I had, and I'm going to go back to tell you what I eat. But at that moment, I had closed up. I gained some pounds. My life was changing. Things were changing. And I gained it and I felt it. I closed up in my cubby, go to the office, and nothing's transpiring. Nothing. Like I think I went through this for a whole year.
Right.
And I've been trying to like come out of it until just recently. I want to tell you, like 6 months, dropped the weight. Currently am working on a new plan. And I started feeling things are starting to change. Stuff like this, opportunities, stuff that I had said no to because I was like, I don't know. I mean, there was so many times I got in a fight with James because of a post that he posted and I wanted him to fix it because I felt horrible. James, don't put that video. I look stupid. I look huge. I wanted him to take it off. That's so bad. But it goes back to that feeling.
Right.
So right now I wake up around 4.
Oh, wow.
Yes. But I don't get going till like 4:30, okay? But I don't get going till 4:30. I wake up and I have a protein shake. My protein shake is vegan, it's a little shake.
Okay.
Hard-boiled egg, and that's it. I go to do my weights, my lifting, my heavy lifting and whatnot. Come
You
back
do weights
home.
after the shake.
And then after that, I come back home. get the kids ready. I'm making breakfast at the same time. So then I just usually have like a piece of fruit or a toast, depending on what my goals are. Again, everyone's gonna be different because if I'm running for a marathon, if I'm training for this, or if I'm teaching spin class that day, it's gonna be a little different. So I'm not a big bread eater. I'm not sure if it's just the texture for me, but I usually try to like have like the Dave's Killer bread or Ezekiel toast with peanut butter, some strawberries. Lunchtime is very basic, very boring, not fun, but it is just literally salad, egg whites, cottage cheese, and that's it. But it has taken me a long time to process that because remember, I was vegan for a long time. So it has been, you have to change your mindset.
No dressing.
No, lemon or salsa.
Okay.
Lemon or salsa, and then in between, I try not to snack because that is my biggest downfall. Snackety, 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 and not bad snacks, but they're still snacks. A handful of almonds, a handful of cashews. Oh, it's not bad. I'm gonna have a whole bowl of fruit. You just killed it. So definitely, the snackety snack was my big
That's
thing.
me, the snackety snackety.
The snackety snackety, but it's healthy.
Yeah.
It's cashews. Or it's matcha tea, and you're like, yeah, but you put oat milk in there, you put all this stuff in there. So those little hacks, you know? And then for dinner, very basic. Again, it's pretty much just like turkey. Still, I'm working through it. I'm working through turkey again. The relationship me and turkey had is weird, but very basic. A nice fresh salad. You can do so much. Tuna is my go-to, because that has been easy, and I change it. I make it into a wrap. I make it into a tostada. I mean, I get really creative right now because I had to change, you know, to get more protein in, because life changes.
Yeah.
And when you're in the life change,
Yes.
they'll tell you, oh no, girl, you need protein. Like you are severely, you know, so your life's gonna change. For me, vegan worked while it worked. Then when it stopped working, you had to say, okay, you know what? Something's not working, we gotta adjust. Just like your businesses, something's not working. You know something's not working in your body.
You can feel it.
You can feel it. You're gonna have to adjust. But that's the problem. We don't. We just keep going years and years and years doing the same thing that was working when we were 30 or younger, but it's not working. Or even as you change, or even as your job changes, if you get busier. Before you were like, oh, I'll be fine. I can just drink this thing and let's go be on the go and that's it. But you're busier. You're busier now, so you got to plan a little harder. It takes a little bit of work too, but you can do it. You can do it.
And I think we all, because I'm listening to, you know, like your daily menu of food. I think in general, like we just consume too much food.
Yeah.
Like the food that, because I noticed that, like there's days where I've done fasting, and it brings me a lot of clarity to do the fasting. And then I'll notice it's like day 2, and I'm like, I'm really not hungry. It's mental.
It's mental. And you can write these things down. Like I noticed when I start eating more, I don't have a deal, I don't have an escrow, oh my gosh, okay, well, you know
It's like, what are you missing or lacking?
Instead of you, like I had to learn how to connect it, like, okay, you're doing this to yourself. Like you're bringing that energy to you. Everything is energy.
Exactly.
So pretty much, and I'm guilty of it too, I'm not perfect whatsoever. But even though I noticed like I was eating a little cookie there, or just bite a cookie of somebody else's, or I'll spin a cookie with you, and I'm like, it's not even, I didn't even, but you hadn't have an escrow, or I didn't have this, or the business was really slow, and you start tending to pick up little habits that are not even like, why am I doing this? So if you start writing down when you feel it, like, or even in your phone, I have a lot of alarms, and I actually learned this from, is it Scott Hacker? Scott Hacker, I don't know if you guys know who he is. He's a good speaker on life coach motivation. And you have these little alarms, and I just learned this, and this is something you could do in your phone, where you start feeling the most hungry. Like for me, it's 10 a.m. Something about 10 a.m. I want to eat crackers, cookies, snacks. I don't know what it is about 10. I'm not sure if they didn't feed me at 10 or it's like a life trauma or something. So I put an alarm, and it tells me, are you really hungry or are you thirsty? Because most of the time we're dehydrated. We're not hungry, we're dehydrated. So my suggestion for everybody is drink a cup of water first, eat some ice, then see if you're really hungry. If you just ate and you're still hungry, there's something, obviously your metabolism's quick and that's good. You're supposed to be hungry, but not, it's food noise. It's just noise.
Heard, like if you're wanting a snack or something,
Mhm.
to have a hard-boiled egg. And if
Yes.
that doesn't sound appetizing, then that
Mhm.
means you're not
That
hungry.
you're not hungry, exactly.
Right, stuff like that
Yeah.
too. So
So,
I've been trying to do those things
yeah,
as
and
well.
I mean, it's old school. I'm very old school. I write everything down in a planner, and I'll write it down like, girl, you already have pop, or I'll trade. I'll do a barter. Like, okay, well, they're having skinny pop, or should I have this piece of a cookie with somebody? Or sure. And if you must go out to eat, you have your clients, you want to meet with clients, and you also want to, you go out to lunches. Fine, share with somebody, or ask for the box. I always ask for the box and cut it in half. I always ask, because when you go to Mexican food or right now everybody's hanging out PVs and they give you a whole thing like this.
Right.
So I just cut everything in half for me.
And then just take the
And
rest.
just take the rest home. And there you go. Now you have meal prep.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how I maintain, what I do. And it also depends on what I'm training for. If I'm training like for LA Marathon, you might see me a little thicker because I eat a little more bread, a little more carb, but the good carbs, Yeah.
So I want to give you a visual that
Oh, this
when
was
she started. When was this, and tell us
This
how many pounds you weigh?
okay. So this is Fort Hood, and I was in Fort Hood alone with a little baby. My daughter was just born, but I was also raising my sister's kids. So it was a lot of stress. My husband had just left for his first tour in Iraq, and I was pretty much dropped off in Texas and said, figure it out. So, and I had just closed my business. So the guilt of like, I had a business, I sold it to GMAC. I had a thriving business, and I just said, oh, I'm in love, I'm gonna go get married and leave to Texas. That was a lot, and I kept that, and that's a trauma. You keep it, and sometimes our food intake has to do with traumas too, So that was Fort Hood. I had just had Leah.
Oh,
Yeah.
How much did you weigh in this picture?
This one was I wasn't that chubby though. I was 285.
Okay.
So yeah, and I'm sitting sideways.
Um,
I'm sitting sideways to kind of turn the picture, At that time, and I had a very high intensive job in Fort Hood. Actually, I was in charge of the commander of Fort Hood. I had to get his schedule going. So not only was I in the middle of nowhere, a whole new career, a whole new job, working for the military, which I knew nothing of, next to, what they do is when you have a commander of a military base, he has a wife. And the wife is pretty much, you're her assistant. Whatever you need, she needs, and she wants, you get it. Whatever they need, they want, you get it. Very stressful because they're very busy and they're very stressed. At that time, that's when it was like in heat. Iraq was just, soldiers were getting deployed for 16, 17 months. They told me I wouldn't see my husband for 17 months, and I didn't. So there was a lot. So at that time, it was just piling on. Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to thank you.
Thank you.
For
I
coming
hope
out.
it helps a little better. I'm also available. DM me. I can help you get a little plan going. It might be a little boring. You might hate me as well, but it's
Sure.
okay. I also teach spin class if you ever want to come and join. I have a really good time. I sweat it out at LA Fitness, and yes,
That'd be good.
yes.
there.
Yes, I know, yes.
That would
Spin
be
class,
good.
boot camps, I do all that kind of stuff, but I'm also a realtor.
Which one?
North Fontana. I
Oh,
would
Summit.
North Fontana of a Summit or Rancho sometimes.
Really?
Yes,
We'll have to do
Quick
that.
question.
yes.
Do you stay away from alcohol?
Yeah, I do not drink, but it wasn't always like that. That happened about 3 years ago. And I'm very transparent, so I'll tell you why. I have a sister that I grew up with, and she was an alcoholic, drug addict since I known her. Like since I was a little kid, that's all I knew of my sister. About 3 years ago, she had her last hoorah, I want to call it. Took her last drink, took her last whatever it is she mixed up together. And it was Mother's Day, and she ended up having a stroke and a brain aneurysm, and she's handicapped. So and this is very real, when I knew that my family comes from a long line of alcoholics and whatnot, and addictive families, because it is. We don't think like, oh, that's my uncle, whatever, I don't have an addictive personality. It can be, and it's a trauma that just keeps going with you. You might not realize it, but it's on you. It's stuck on you. My dad passed away from alcohol at 12, when I was 12. So when I seen my sister like that about 3 years ago, I was like, I'm done. Because I would have my wine here or there, but not a lot. Yeah. But now I feel like I don't need it. Like somebody tells me, oh, well, we're not gonna invite invite you because you won't drink. Invite me, I'll make a little mocktail and have a good time. Because when you start feeling good about yourself, you have that energy.
Yeah.
Like you don't need alcohol to like get going. You can just have a good time.
That's right.
Yeah. So.
Really.
Mhm.
Hope this is, oh, please, no, let's keep it coming.
What time do I go to bed? You know what? It depends on the day because my class is over about 8:00, but I like to stay and people ask me questions every class. So certain days of the week, about 9:30, the latest 10, I'm pushing it. But I do take little naps. Like 20 minutes at my desk, like because it helps. A little nap will also, if you're starving, hungry, like whatnot, and you know I just had lunch. Why am I hungry? Take a 10-minute power boost. There's these little apps on YouTube that'll boost you. So yes, I go to bed like 9:30, 10 the latest. My son plays club soccer, so they get home at 9 and he wants a full course meal. So yeah, 9:30, 10. Mhm.
What's your intake on fasting, like intermittent fasting?
So I've done fasting. I've done it all. You name it, I've done it. I've even had to have similar before that. When I was really overweight, they had to go in there and I had remove ulcers. So I had similar to what was called a gastric sleeve, but it wasn't. They just removed the ulcers, took them off, and at that point, that was the 3 weeks that I couldn't eat. So that's what launched me into the weight loss, you know? But I love fasting, but it depends on what you are doing. So let's just say fasting works, but if you are training really hard, lifting weights and doing all this stuff, fasting is not gonna work. But if you know that it's gonna be light, I wouldn't fast unless you know that you're just gonna be walking something for those couple days. You know, it's not an everyday thing. Right now, us women, or even women that are younger that are not in perimenopause or not, lifting weights has such a bad stigma. Oh, it's gonna get you bulky, it's gonna get you this. But lifting weights is gonna help you even pick up your baby. And women don't realize that because there's such a stigma of like this, and they're doing, you know, all these other things, which are great, Pilates, yoga, all these other fun stuff. But weights are gonna help you because that's what's gonna make you strong. So it just depends on it works. Fasting works as long as you're getting all your nutrients when you're eating and you're not breaking your fast with something that's high sugar, super carby, you know, that's the thing. You gotta be I feel very responsible and going in with the mindset, like, why am I doing this? Putting an intention to it. That's how I feel about that. Same thing with the juice cleanses. I love them. I love Divine Juicery. I'm sure you guys have heard of them too. But once you're done juicing, are you using it just to like launch you? And did you change your mindset? Because once you're done juicing, it's gonna come right back. So if you're gonna do it, I always say start with an intention. Okay, I'm gonna do this and it's gonna guide me to the next steps. What's my plan after the 3-day? What's my plan after the fast day? You gotta have it, because when you don't, you think of it as a quick fix. And that's the thing, everybody's in, especially right now with there's everything, the NADs, the GLPs, all these different things. And mind you, I said, I've tried it all because I like to know so that I can give my info.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta have that intention. What are you gonna do with it? Why are you? It's a tool. It's not a magic thing or a magic pill. It's a tool.
Is your why?
It's a tool. It's your why, and how are you gonna use it long term? So.
One world.
Go ahead.
What is your cardio and weightlifting? Like, how do
So
you
I'm a little loca, but again, it's my therapy. So I weightlift. I come home, feed the kids. I run my miles that I need, depending on if I have a race coming up or whatnot. Then right after that, I stretch with what's called the TRX. So, and if I'm teaching that day, I cut down my miles. So 1 to 2, real quick, run the neighborhood, you know?
Just 7.
It depends, yeah. But if I know I have to work out again, like tonight, like I knew I was gonna I have to work out again at 5:30. So I even it out. But right now, for when I start people on little plans, I do your morning. A lot of people do fasted cardio. It works. But again, women, we're changing. Fasted cardio is no bueno if you're in perimenopause or menopause. It is no good. because your body is still trying to fight from all the changes from last night to the morning. So you need a little something. So a lot of that fasted cardio that everybody does is good for the guys because that's just how they roll, but not for us girls. You gotta have something, you know? And then again, I'll do the weightlifting or whatnot, or set them up with the weightlifting at the end. They'll have another 20 minutes or 30 minutes of cardio at the end. So, you know, and then you have two. It doesn't make it so scary. Like, oh, 20 minutes? I can do 20 minutes. Usually people are like, I would say go on the treadmill for 20 minutes. I can do 20 minutes. 20 minutes, you watch the YouTube show, you already TikTok, whatnot, that's it, you know? And I split it up for them because some people really absolutely hate cardio. They hate it, absolutely hate it. So splitting it up is not so bad because they're like, oh, I'll do 20 here, 20 there. Yeah, now you did 40 for the whole day. So you're, you know?
Jennifer.
I have one more. I think that there's like a misconception of how much protein people need in one day.
Yeah.
Because I hear like all of these people, like they're going nuts at like 100, 150 grams. And then I'm thinking, okay, I could eat like a ribeye every day and that's like 50, you know, 50,
Yeah.
but it seems like a lot. So like how much do you think, like how much protein?
Like I said, every day is different for me. So I can't give you an exact. So what I do is I would calculate based on you. And that's the problem that everybody, like, oh, that person said they eat 150. We would have to calculate it for you individually. That's how it works.
Depending on.
Yeah, because right now that's the thing. Everybody does what everybody else
Different
does.
needs.
And
Yeah.
everybody's different. I mean, you might have to have that cortisol, picking up kids and the drive-through. That cortisol spike might need a little more protein than you, that you're a little more calm. You don't have to have all that. So typing in, just finding a little app or finding a plan that works for you and your age and your weight and what your goals are, it's gonna be different. Because sometimes you can get so much protein, you're tired of it. You gotta change it up, yeah.
Because sometimes when you eat extra protein, that turns into fat. So overeating protein also is not.
I think calories turn into fat.
Yeah, sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Simeon can tell you a lot more too on that
I
one.
used to be a trainer, so yes, protein doesn't turn into fat.
It's calories.
The way that you figure it out, if you go to a gym, they have like a machine to give you your body composition.
Right.
Basically breaks down what's skeletal,
Mhm.
what's muscular, what's fat.
Yeah.
Per pound of muscle is per gram of protein that you
There we
eat.
go.
So if you eat under that, say you have 70 pounds of muscle in your body and you eat 60 grams of protein a day, you're not gonna gain muscle.
Interesting.
If you eat over that, then you will gain muscle. And the more muscle you gain, the more fat you burn at rest. Like right now, my body is burning fat because I have more muscle than I do fat in me. So you want it to be that way. Most people have more fat in their body than muscle. You want to switch that so that the muscle in your body naturally burns calories when you're at rest.
Yes.
Thank you.
This guy-
It's really interesting.
This is wonderful.
A little bit. He's more of a martyr.
No, I see. I
Yeah.
gotta catch him.
Yes.
I got you.
Yeah, we're all getting.
And his wife, she is amazing. House of Fitness is amazing. They are amazing and it's local, yes. Mhm.
It's a gym?
Yes.
Oh,
It's his wife's
she's-
gym.
she's
And I have seen, I don't go there. I should go get but I have my own little area where I hang out. But I've seen so many women coming through there, and you just have to, I had to give him a plug too. He does so much for so many in this industry, and I think people forget that he's so knowledgeable. Definitely, even his wife, she has just tips and whatnot, and the people she has in there, the quality of trainers, events in there is something to look for too. And like I said, that's how you have to find what works for you.
Right.
Like me, there is absolutely no way you will find me in Zumba because I am very uncoordinated. And you will not find me at yoga because I giggle too much. So definitely not those things. But and finding something that you love, something that you're like, yes, I can do this. You know, I love this. You know, whatever it is, Pilates, yoga, aerial yoga, strip pole dancing, whatever it is, just find what works for you. And you could try it. Okay, I'm never doing that again. Find something else. Okay, I'm never doing that again. And don't be embarrassed of whatever it is. If you like to still go back to jazzercise, I don't know, I'm dating myself with that, but then do it, you know? whatever it is, whatever time it is. And doesn't have to be a specific time. Some people think I have to do it in the morning. No, I have friends that do it at 9 p.m. And there's women in my neighborhood that I'm like, what's she doing? I'm about to go to sleep. But that's her time. That's what she has. And you have to just find your time, you know? Mhm.
Wonderful. Well, Lorena is,
Thank you.
let's do a round of applause. It's great. She's always inspiring. She's inspired me. When I watch her videos, I'm thinking, I'm not wearing a t-shirt in the swimming pool. I gotta get that. I see men in the pool with the underarm fitted t-shirt. Like, no, I'm not doing that. You're not gonna talk about whose dad is over there looking like a whale. I'm not gonna do that either. So that is inspiring for me to make sure I wake up in the morning and work out. And again, I hope you got some value from this, from the financial aspect of the life insurance policy and showing love to your family, in addition to showing love to your body and making sure when you leave from here, you start change today. For me, I like to jump rope. That's my thing. I have a quarter pound, I have a half pound, and a 1 pound rope. I do that every morning, and the coordination, the muscle build, I will be ready for the summer.
Yeah,
So
and you don't have to go to a fancy gym.
No,
I have
do it
like
right.
3 pieces in my garage that I live off of when I'm in a hurry. That too, I wanted to add that too. I have a TRX strap that cost my husband $99, and I have a ball, and I just find it, there's so many apps and whatnot. Just gotta put it in there. Put it in there. Like just, even, and I tell people that haven't done exercise in years, give me 10 minutes. 10 minutes? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And then you add a little bit. Or one last one. When I wanted to really start, when I started running, it was, my goal wasn't a number or the mileage or the time. It was that stop sign. Okay, I'm gonna go back. The next stop sign. Okay, I'm gonna go back. The next, then it became 4 or 5 stop signs. Oh shoot, I gotta go home. It's like little hacks, because I think we put so much pressure on it. But if I can just, or if you're gonna go to lunch, okay, I'm gonna go the long way. I'm gonna go around. You know, like little hacks.
Thank you so much. We have
Thank
lunch in the
you.
back. We want you to
Thank
enjoy it.
you.
Thank you all for coming and have a great rest of your day.